These are both stories by Edgar Allan Poe. This is The Black Cat, and this is The Telltale Heart. Today, I'm going to be comparing and contrasting one character from each story. I'll first give a short recap of each story. In The Telltale Heart, a practically psychopathic man finds himself disturbed by his father's evil eye. He therefore ends up killing his father because of his eye, and the police arrive soon later. He hides his father's dead body inside the floor and hears a horrifying noise sounding like a heartbeat. Then the narrator freaks out when he realizes it's his father's. Then, in The Black Cat, an alcoholic who is driven by his addiction tortures and kills his cat Pluto. Then, a stray cat that looks identical to the cat he murdered, except for a white mark on his chest, follows him and drives him to become even more violent. He kills his wife and hides her body inside the wall. The police arrive and demand to see her body. A sudden sound coming from the wall disturbs them all. He soon realizes it's the cat meowing inside the wall on top of his wife's body. Pretty gruesome, right? But hopefully you can already start seeing some similarities with both stories. The two characters I'll compare and contrast are the beating heart from The Telltale Heart and the second cat in The Black Cat. I know it seems like these two things have nothing in common, but trust me, they do. That's why I'm making this whole video in the first place. So first, the beating heart. As the narrator hears the heart through the floor, he gets all freaked out. So of course, the heart represents guilt. The heart is supposed to represent the narrator's conscience. And second, the black cat. Just to be sure, the second cat is not Pluto. This one has a white mark on its chest, unlike Pluto. But this cat is supposed to be a symbol of Pluto's murder, while the meowing at the end of the story is supposed to represent the narrator's guilt. Sorry, I know that was a lot. Let's go back to the basics and find the definition of guilt. When I searched the Google definition, this is what I got. Feeling responsible or regretful for a perceived offense, real or imaginary, can be part of the grief reaction. Well, I mean, it makes sense. He probably went through some grief when he first killed Pluto. I'm guessing same with his wife. But hopefully I showed you that these two things have more in common than you'd think. As for differences, I think there are some that are pretty obvious. For example, physical differences. One is literally a heart and one is a cat. Another one is that they both represent different types of guilt. And while the beating heart represents the narrator's mental guilt, the cat represents physical guilt. Man, I don't know how many times I just said guilt in one sentence, but that was a lot. The moral of these stories and this video is that guilt can easily consume you and can turn you into something you're not or shouldn't be. But away from the depressing stuff, says the person literally making a video of Edgar Allan Poe. I hope you enjoyed this video and actually learned something. Thanks again for watching. Bye!